From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Tuesday, August 18th. Sorry, folks, it's just that August is already, like halfway there. It takes me a second just to realize what day it even is. But that being said, before we get into your top 6 stories for you this morning, to include some severe weather coverage from overnight that you're going to want to listen into, we got to get you the question of the day. The question is, nearly 24% of American teenagers have confessed to doing this at school. What is it? If you want to lock in your guess, head on over to our TikTok live. We are at 1011 News, where you can lock in your guess live right now. I'm going to read off guesses and then the answer at the end of Morning Pulse this morning. But that being said, let's jump into your top 6 stories for you this morning. Starting things off with some of that overnight severe weather, the first day of school has been canceled for students in Ord after the city was hit hard by storm damage overnight. These photos sent to our sister station, KSNB, by Josh Smith, show some of the damage, including a crushed grain elevator after winds tore through the area. First day of school in Ord will now be tomorrow with a 1 p.m. dismissal. Some good news, though. Just before 2 a.m., the Loup Valley Public Power District announced on Facebook that areas hit by the storm had their power restored. Officials say they're still reporting at least that trees and power lines are down, and in order to stay home if possible has not been lifted yet as crews work to assess that damage. So again, this is affecting Ord. We're still getting reports of whether or not there's other kinds of storm damage around the area, but we do know that a number of storms have moved from north central Nebraska into southeast. So if you do have any storm damage photos that you'd like to share with us, don't be shy. Head over to 1011now.com where you can share that with us and give us a news tip in case we missed anything from last night. But speaking of which, we have some new news for you this morning breaking into our newsroom. We're learning new details about allegations of financial misconduct at a hospital in Friend. Say Auditor Mike Foley released a letter accusing the former top administrator of War Memorial Hospital, also known as Friend Community Healthcare System, of racking up more than $38,000 in improper charges. The letter also claims the administrator tried to mislead auditors. He reportedly said he opened a second hospital credit card in his own name because the first one was canceled for non-payment, but auditors say that's not true. They found the first card was still active when the second one was opened. Foley says the letter and supporting evidence have now been turned over to law enforcement. Former administrator stepped down suddenly when the draft letter was sent to the hospital board for review. He has not been named in this, so we'll continue to keep you updated in this story that just came into our newsroom this morning. So be sure to have the 1011 Now app downloaded and stick to 1011now.com with more on this developing story. Now over to a big story from earlier on. We're going to get this going up here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We have this 26-year-old Stephen Schroeder of Lincoln, accused of abducting a woman and baby, then crashing into another vehicle while fleeing police, made his first court appearance yesterday. He's facing 5 charges, including first-degree false imprisonment, domestic assault, and child abuse. Police say the incident started Sunday afternoon near 48th and Y Streets. Witness reported seeing Schroeder driving an SUV with a woman and baby inside, hearing the woman screaming. An officer eventually attempted a traffic stop. Police say Schroeder took off, ran multiple red lights, eventually crashing into another vehicle near 56th Street and Old Cheney Road. The other driver reported minor injuries. Police say the woman was taken to the hospital along with the infant for evaluation. We caught up with the Friendship Home, who shares how to spot domestic violence that could be happening to your friends or family.
Being isolated, not allowing to talk to their friends or their family. They notice that they're missing work more and more, that they may seem fearful when they're around their partner, or just things that are happening, their partner's putting them down verbally in front of them.
So there you go. We have some information up there on the screen for you this morning, as well as their 24/7 crisis line. With that being said, the Friendship Home provides services plus emergency shelter and long-term housing. You can learn more about the services the Friendship Home provides by going to their website. Schroeder's bond was set at $50,000, but officials will be reviewing his bond today. Then he's back in court September 17th. Down to Beatrice, demolition at the Dempster site is slowly seeing progress. According to News Channel Nebraska, many of the smaller surrounding buildings within the complex are finally coming down. This after the roughly 8-acre site was ravaged by a massive fire in March of 2025. City approved a $42,000 bid from a local contractor to take down 3 buildings. However, much of the expensive work still remains. City administrator says the most difficult part is the demolition of buildings facing Highway 77, something they're still working to secure funding for. In the meantime, though, city officials say they will be using their local budget alongside any bids given out to local contractors. Now, switching gears over to sports coverage, we are less than 3 weeks out from Nebraska football's first game of the year. One topic on the minds of fans is the Huskers' historic ticket sellout streak. It's the longest in college football history, but some are concerned that the streak could be in jeopardy. Huskers have officially sold out Memorial Stadium every game since November of 1962. So far this year, home game ticket sales are down. Big home games against defending national champion Indiana and Big Ten powerhouse Ohio State are about 10,000 tickets short of a sellout, leaving some to wonder if the record sellout string is in jeopardy. Now, we have more on this story from our sister station over at Channel 6 up in Omaha, who did a lot of in-depth interviews and reporting there just to get a sense of how people are feeling about this, but definitely something to be on the lookout for. This, we like to have a lot of firsts, when it comes to this team, but I imagine this is not something that we would like to see this season. So if you haven't already purchased that ticket, look ahead. But that being said, we'll transition on over to our final story for you this morning. After partnering with the Food Bank of Lincoln, the LPS Emergency Pantry is now open. The goal is to give students and families access to food outside of the classroom. Pantry is located at Bryan Community School just south of 48th and O, and officials say you don't need to be enrolled at LPS to access it. Private and homeschooled students are also welcome. Pantry is supplied by the Food Bank of Lincoln, which provides non-perishable household items like canned goods, sauces, pasta, peanut butter, and jelly, as well as others.
Our child hunger programs are really important to us. This is just one more resource where we can say, here's a place where you can go when your family is in need, whether that's just for the night, for the weekend, for the week, to provide an additional access point for those children and their families.
Heard it there. Food bank officials say families are able to take 30 to 35 pounds of food each visit, depending on their family size. Pantry's open Pantry's open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There we go. From 3:30 to 5:30. That's a half hour later than their opening time in previous years. It'll operate throughout the school year until next May. So that is going to do it for your news portion of the Morning Pulse. That being said, let's get you the answer to the question of the day. The question was, yet again, nearly 24% of American teenagers have confessed to doing this at school. What is it? Here we go. Over to the TikTok Live, seeing what we got going on. Amy Green, goof off in class. Thank you for weighing in, Amy. Oh, we're seeing Emily this morning, falling asleep. That is a good one. I do believe one of our broadcast viewers also punched in that as a guess. So, man, we are starting a roll here of people actually putting in their guesses on the live. We have somebody saying vaping here on the live. These are all good guesses. I myself put smoking, but folks, the answer for this morning is had food delivered during school hours. I was not expecting that as the answer. One of our viewers did guess that this morning, so congratulations to them on the broadcast. I know I had friends that did this in school, but That being said, we're going to try again tomorrow on the question of the day. I am loving all the people on TikTok finally weighing in with some guesses going into Morning Pulse this morning. So definitely appreciate that. We'll be around here same time, same place, 8 a.m. each morning. But that being said, we have your forecast before you go here, and it's going to be something you're going to want to pay attention to as Brandon Rector has more on some of that weather that has been rolling through, as well as what to look for a little bit later.
Good Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. We are going to be mostly cloudy across much of the area this morning. Continuing to see those showers and thunderstorms across a good portion of the eastern third to half of the area through about 10 a.m. and then we'll see that rain chance decreasing as we make our way towards midday. Then it's a 20 to 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm as we go through the afternoon. That rain chance will increase again Tuesday night to about 30 to 40% for more scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms. Marginal to slight risk of severe weather is also in place for today, so that means isolated to scattered severe storms are possible for today into tonight. Large hail and damaging winds are the main threats. The tornado threat looks to be low. Temperatures at noon in the upper 70s to mid 80s. At 4 this afternoon, low 80s to low 90s. And at 8 this evening, mid 70s to mid 80s. In Lincoln for today, looks like we're going to warm up to 85 for high this afternoon.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.